Hello and welcome to the third episode of Miniverse, the series where I learn how to make dioramas with no previous experience at all. You join me today cutting up some foam for today's aptly named episode, The Disaster Diorama, of which you'll find out why later. Today I'm trying to make a Halo Infinite inspired diorama. I started by drawing and cutting up some foam to get the general surroundings, then using my hot wire I made some smooth gradients. Using Miniverse, I mixed it all together and made some hills and paths, using water to smooth it out. Now it's time to grab your trusty bread knife and spread that bad boy all over the diorama.
That is one big pile of...
I recently got a 3D printer and found some 4-run STLs online and made the hex walls myself for the diorama. This was quite fun and quite tricky, but hopefully in the future I'll learn how to do these things better. Instead of using glue, I used a Miniverse putty instead. Now this is pretty bad because with all the Miniverse on my fingers, it made it look quite rough when it should have been a nice and smooth surface. After using terrain paste for all the rocky areas, I added some PVA glue to the surroundings where I wanted the water to be. While painting the rocks, I added bits of terracotta paint around to add some diversity to the colour, then painted contrast paint over the top to make it more uniform. Now, unfortunately this is where the fun stopped. I got out some flock, except it just kept balling up on me, instead of, well, you know, being like grass. I then tried some foam flock, but it looked terrible, and at this point, I pretty much called it quits and wanted to delete the video. So after a couple of days of this disaster piece sitting on my desk, I thought I'd give it another go. Off camera I added some more flock and PVA glue and gave it a lot more work, and it looked a tiny bit better. Not good, but not terrible. After that, it's on to the next fiasco, resin pouring. It was the first time for everything, eh? I taped up the sides like I saw people do on YouTube, but that was a terrible decision, and I bet you know what happened next. Thankfully, keeping it in a container, the resin was pretty easy to clean up, but with now 90% of the resin gone, alongside my will to finish this piece, I once again contemplated ending the diorama. But instead of ending the diorama, I thought, how can I fix this? And after watching one of Minibrick's videos, I decided to add some small waves to it. To make the waves, I used Everbuild's clear hybrid polymer adhesive. To replicate the rapids of the waves, I added small amounts of cotton wool with some high gloss glue. And then after that, I called it done. For now. I'll probably revisit this diorama in the future to flesh some things out, like the empty areas, maybe add some vehicles or a small base wall too. I hope you've enjoyed this Halo Infinite Diorama and can hopefully learn from my mistakes, but I'll see you next time.